Lee, this is a tribute from your cousin Bob on the wonderful occasion of your 70th birthday. And hi to Carol, Brad, Stacy, and all the family. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Lee's family and friends are all here. Let's all raise our glass to this guy with such class. It's Lee Arberg's 70th year. Now where shall we start? Lee was gifted and smart. He got A's, played the drums, and what a brother. And with a pinky ball and bat, boy, he gave it a whack, sent it over Poppy's hedge like no other. But Bud and Phil could compete, but Ken and I were too weak. We were younger and smaller than our brothers. But look at Ken now. He's a pillar, a tower. And Lee sighs, thank God he's not a fighter, but a lover. Well, Lee and Ken and Carl and Marion moved on. They left good Verona and ventured up north to Needham, of course, where Lee developed his persona. He got better on drums, and for office he'd run. He was a leader, and boy did he shine. He worked hard and excelled, and we just knew, we could tell, that with a little planning and time, he'd reach all his goals and meet every test. And finally Lee said, I must go to the best. We all were so proud when Princeton said yes. Lee accepted with pride, and you know the rest. And Lee would begin his life as a tiger, and he budgeted his time, and he was a fighter. Engineering and tennis, and triangle too. He balanced school, sports, and music, that's true. And with his eye on the future and his country in need, Lee said, how can I give back? What shall I be? He thought, how can I help? He mulled over and over. I've got it. I'll serve under Admiral Rickover. So Lee took on this challenge, the nuclear Navy, with Carol by his side. They'd soon have a baby. And the Navy was fine, but just a stop on the way. This family moved south to feel ocean spray. Yes, south to a place where their wings they could spread. Carol's dad helped them find their beloved Hilton Head. Ah, Hilton Head, this was truly the place where a family could thrive, and Lee could slow down his pace. Lee helped Carol's dad with building this dream, and then moved to sales, where he built his great team. Yes, teamwork and sales, they go hand in hand, and Lee was the master at executing a plan. But it wasn't all work, at least not for the kids. For Stacy and Brad, they were both tennis whiz. And Carol played mom, taxi driver, and tutor, and she worked at the schools till their standards did suit her. Yes, Hilton Head schools became the best in the land. She worked hard at this task, and she finished her plan. She thought to herself, if Needham can do it for Lee, why can't Hilton Head do it for Brad and Stacy? Do what, you might ask? You see, Carol was no fool. Stacy and Brad got into Princeton from public high school. And to Princeton they went and excelled like their dad. And my dad, Bud Arberg, was so proud and so glad. Dad attended each parade and shouted out loud, here's Lee, Brad, and Stacy. And boy, was he proud. Well, Hilton Head grew, and Lee finished his plan. Hilton Head was the finest resort in the land. But he was still young, and the kids had left home. And he said to his Carol, let's make Columbus our home. Then off they both journeyed to find a new home, leaving friends and success wherever they roamed. Let's see, Columbus, Ohio, and Orlando were great, but something was missing. A view of a lake? And oh, what a lake they found in Greensboro, GA. Lake Oconee is our spot, for here we can play. On Reynolds Plantation they built their dream house, and Lee listened to Carol, for she was his spouse. And he helped her design, but she did the rest. And I've seen many homes, but this is the best. For this home is special, it feels cozy and warm, and guests hate to leave it, so we swarm and we swarm. Oh yes, I've been there a time, maybe two, and they always bring friends, and they bring friends too. For Lee and dear Carol love people and life, and you feel good and warm all over from the first step inside. They're gracious and generous, and you know they're for real, for you'll never forget one of Carol's gourmet meals. or Lee's boating outings and trips round the lake and dining and dancing and shopping. God, how I ache. And the energy's rampant with Carol and Lee, and the Arberg reunion was a special party. For Carol and Lee knew that the time was just right for Carl and Bud to enjoy that great night. Lee started a tradition that lives to this day. The only drawback, he won't let us pay. And we keep coming back to Carol and Lee, for we love them and miss them and their family. And Lee loves his grandkids, and they love Poppy and Nana. Let's see, there's Tyler and Drew and Blair and now Hannah. And how they adore rides in Poppy's boat round the lake, or dining with Nana and eating her cake. And Brad and Brooke and Kevin and Stacy, it's as good as it gets, Lee says to his lady. Ah, yes, Carol, his lady of low all these years. When he looks into her eyes, he holds back the tears. For this is the woman who shared this great life and stood close beside him through tough times and strife. But Carol always knew that tough times were short-lived, and the good times return, and the givers still give. They give to each other and to friends and family, and what in return? Well, they seem so happy. For they say it is better to give than receive, and Lee and Carol understood this very, very early. And some times have been tough. Carol nursed Lee to health, and Lee waited on Carol the time that she fell. He was patient and kind, but one time he lost it when he was searching in vain for the sweater in her closet. You see, Carol said, "Lee, please hand me my sweater. You know, the one that is blue. It makes me look better." So Lee went back inside to tackle this task and came out 4 times, but she sent him back. "Not that one, my dear, that blue sweater, my sweet." And Lee pursed his lips, but he never did speak. He simply went back, and to Carol's delight, selected the blue sweater, and this one was right. But now Carol's back and as healthy as ever, but Lee keeps his eyes peeled when she gets near a gutter. So I'll take this moment and say to my cuz, you're 1 in a million, and not just because you were generous and kind, no, not just because you defy Father Time, but because I can't think of a more generous guy who gives of his time and has given his life to his family and friends, and we have been blessed to know such a man who is the best of the best. Happy birthday, cuz. I love you. From Bob and Elaine.